Welcome to this edition of Project America, and I apologize for the road noise, but I'm down here on my lower deck. We're literally 20 feet from the road, so there's going to be a lot of background noise in this one. I want to talk about this real quick. A lot of people have seen these. These are the stacking planters that you can either use with soil or for hydroponics. You can find these at most hydroponic stores, gardening stores. They also come from MrStacky.com. Link is in the description. I suggest if you are going to buy these and buy them online, or actually just buy them in general, the Mr. Stacky website, if you buy 36 or more, you get them for $5 a piece. My local store charges about 12 for these. And they're the same thing. I know that's where he buys them from. But anyways, I bought these off him. I planned to build a big stacking tower. I didn't get around to it, but then I had these lettuce plants that just weren't doing well in the crack key system. They were, they weren't tolerating sun. They weren't growing. You can see these here. It's that big. I have some that are huge in the crack key. These just didn't do well, so I decided, what the hell? I'll put them into the stacking system and see how they do there. And basically the water flows out of here and goes to this one, then this one flows through down to this one, and then this one flows through down into the bucket. And all the way around. This one here is dripping on this plant, this one's going into the bucket, this one's watering this plant. It's kind of a wasted setup. Like I said, these are just kind of my misfit plants. But I will say, I was really excited when I bought these and I thought they'd work great, but they're not really all that. One issue I have is sitting on top of this bucket lid on the deck. They're not perfectly level, so the flow rate is different coming out of all of them. I found it very hard to regulate to get an even, because you don't want it like this one here where we remove the plant. You can see is a steady stream, and you really don't need that much. But on the other side, it's just kind of a drip. But again, the roots are looking good. This plant had a rough life. The roots are looking good, and the plants are healthy, but I had a lot of problem getting the flow even. Like this plant here is basically just getting a drip about every few seconds. Now, what I had used inside was the slate that you buy at a hydroponics store. It's just little pebbles. It's really light. Okay, I decided to use this because it's a little cheaper than all your other hydroponic stones, and I think it's just a better product than the, I'm slipping on the name of the other stuff, but that's what I use in here. And I just, like you said, you can see this plant hasn't established its roots down into the rocks yet, so I can just pick it up and move it, but some of the other plants had pretty good sized roots where I had to bury them down into the rock, and this one's on its way. Like this plant here has a lot of roots already down in the rock. This plant here doesn't. They're all pretty, like I said, my misfits. But the main reason I didn't like this is just because the not being level. Now you can hang them. You can run a rod up through the middle of them and hang them. That'd make them a lot more level. Probably make them flow better. But as far as sitting on this, I didn't like it. Now the pump I got in here, it's like a 80 gallon per hour to 135 gallon or 130 gallon per hour pump, adjustable. I have it turned all the way down. This is the other issue, when the leaves get up on there, they kind of alter the flow. But of course it is flowing through the center too, so there is water down in the rocks in the middle. It doesn't have to rely on this once the roots get established. But the pump anyways, like I said, it's like an 80 to 130 gallon pump. I have this hose running up on the outside, and I just zip tied it here on the outside and got my flow set that way. But I can tell you one thing, as opposed to the crack key method, with this one the water's moving, so it's getting oxygenated as it drips through, getting oxygen in it. The plants look really good. They sit down here on the lower deck. It's almost 100% shade down here. Like I said, these weren't tolerating the sun very well. So this is 100% shade on the deck. The plants are absolutely, they just have come back to life. They're starting to grow again. So for that aspect of it, I really like it, but that doesn't have anything to do with the planters itself. That's just because I think the nutrient solution is being pumped, it's in motion, it's getting oxygen in it, it's staying mixed up because again it's being flowed through the pump and dripping back down. I just have holes cut in here so it can drip back down, but all in all these are pretty decent. I'm not going to jump up and down and say these stacking planters are the best thing you'll buy to do some easy hydroponics in your urban gardening, but they're not bad. So like I said, go on MrStacky.com, check them out, try them out. Let me know what you think in the comments. I have another one that I have soil in. I have some lettuce. I put some potting soil in. They're doing pretty good. I did have this stacked for a while in soil. These plants were actually in soil for a while. Now they're in here. You know, poor thing's suffering. As a soil planter, they work pretty good because they you know, the moisture just, the water comes down through and keeps everything nice and evenly watered. So not bad from that aspect. They look cool. So, but I'm not 100% thrilled at these things. I don't think they're the best hydroponic system you can get. But again, not bad for the money. Easy hydroponics. Get your nutrient solution, get a pump, get some hose, and you're in business and you can play around without a lot of expense. These plants here, as you can see, they're in a 2-inch net cup with rock wool, which I had started a while ago. Get that junky leaf off the bottom there. But not too bad. But not the best hydroponic system I've seen. But give them a try. Let me know what you think. This has been another episode of Project America, and I hope your urban gardening is going well and you harvest lots of clean, fresh produce this year that's not covered in pesticide, herbicides like that junk you buy in the store. This, a quick rinse because it's outside, rinse it off, eat it, delicious, healthy, and I know what I'm giving my family.